Hi there, welcome to Ladymda Beauty. My name is Mika Augustine, and today I'm going to be doing a quick review of Saint 3D foundation, and I'm going to be doing a hack, which is highlight and contour application. The idea is for those of you who are unfamiliar with Saint, especially those of you who have recently joined my VIP group page, just wanted to present to you what Saint is about. And the idea is basically you apply the product in one layer or as minimal layers as possible so that you don't have a buildup and you don't have a ton of product like conventional foundation where you swoop it all over your face in one color without any dimension. It's just a one flat color and then all of your other products on top. This is a multiple of highlight colors that are color matched just for you. So feel free to contact me for your free color match. And this combination of different highlight colors plus your contouring and lip and cheek gives you that 3D definition, which is like nothing else out there. So let's get started. This is a palette, one of the palettes that's available. The other thing that's fabulous about Saint is that your palette is customizable just for you, for those colors that are color match for you, and then the colors that do not need to be color matched, like eyeshadows or preferable lip and cheek colors, you get to pick exactly what you want in your compact. This happens to be my favorite. This is a triple decker layer palette, and that's what that looks like, but you get to pick whichever size palette you'd like. A credit does build up when you are shopping in your cart that applies towards the palette of your choice. Okay, so let's get started. I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible. I always say that and I end up talking too much, but I do need to get ready for a doctor's appointment to go to. So hopefully that'll keep me in track. So first of all, I did start with what do you call it? Sunscreen. Sunscreen is super important. The products do not contain sunscreen, and it is important to use something that is good and non-toxic for your face. A physical sunscreen is best, not a chemical one, and you definitely want a product that is not silicone based. That will make your product slide off. The 3D foundation is comprised of cream, a cream product, so which is super beneficial, wonderful for your skin, hydrating, it retains moisture. Over time, most of my clients do report that their skin actually does better, and that's without even great skincare added to that. So here's one that I recommend, is Unseen Supergoop. So I have already applied that. There are other ones out there on the market as well. I have applied my setting spray. This is just in a different container. This is the Saint setting spray, which I can also use as a primer. I have applied that. And what I will be starting with actually, because I am an oily gal, is this is a Laura Mercier loose translucent powder. You will see it's not super translucent on my skin tone, but it doesn't matter because I'm only using it as a little base layer just to absorb some of that extra shininess that I get. I also like Bare Minerals. That's a favorite as well. And we do have the Saint Vanilla Dusting Powder, which comes in a tin, just like the highlights, which is great because it fits right into your palette. Since I use so much product, I prefer to just use that one for just to avoid creasing under my eyes, but it's also great for travel, so I will use that for travel. Okay, so now that my powder is on, as you can see, I have done just a basic eye look for today just to run around. I will jot down the colors if you're interested, if you want to see those a little closer. And here we go. Okay, so I have been talking about just recently the Camo Bridge Pop method. And this is a little bit newer to some of you, and it involves 3 colors. Basically, you're going to have your typical, what I recommend when you get started is your main color foundation, which is what Saint calls highlight. You're going to apply that to most of the areas except for the areas for brightening, which are what we call the triangle of light, chin, down the nose, Cupid's bow, little over here, in between this area, little outer corners of the eyes. So I'm going to be using my main color, which is, excuse me, take that back. My camo color, I get mixed up because I just started talking about this with you guys. So I have to rethink how I'm saying this to you. Okay, so the camo color would be your first color. This is for camouflaging, so this would be an additional third color for those areas that we don't like. Now, I don't have a ton that I want to camouflage today. Let me start. I'm going to start using the 3D brush. And I do have some darkness, but because this area tends to be shadowed and dark, I'm actually going to be using my pop color for that and then go over it with my main color. So one area for sure, so I'm going to use Goddess as my, you can't see it as much. It comes and goes depending on how much sun I've gotten, but I do have a large melasma splat across my forehead. It's just kind of scattered. So I'm going to use my camo color, which is Goddess. Yours will be different according to what your needs are and your skin tones. And as you can see, that does a pretty good job kind of masking it. But then I'm going to go over either my main color or maybe Bella Bronzer because it is kind of a funny area. And you can see I have some melasma here around my mouth. Maybe I'll put just a little bit there. But really, I kind of do tend to use more brightening around my mouth. But again, you know, it depends on what you have going on. What are your distractions? What are the things that bother you? What are the things that you want to cover up? Now, kind of same idea if you have really dark under eye circles. You might want to do the camo and then your lighter color on top. But depending on what's going on, if you have large bags with a lot of poofiness, we could talk about something a little bit more custom for you, for your method of application. There are different ways to do it, which is one of the other things that makes it great. It's not a, you know, one size method. We can change it around. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take my pop color, which is going to be Linen. We're going to do that inner under eye corners. I swoop this down my nose. I started doing this. I go back and forth between the brush, but sometimes just that pop color, I do like to apply that with my fingers. And it looks like a lot, but I am just dipping and the product is super pigmented. So here's where I was talking about for my particular areas. I had this droopiness and shadowing going on just from loss of collagen and age. And then you'll see I'm gonna blend this all out with my main color when I get to that part. Stoop down my nose. I'm going to do the center part of the lower part of the forehead. And I'm just going to leave that there because the warmth of my skin, even though it is warm this time of year, my product does tend to get really cool in my home. But that helps for it to apply and blend out better when we get to that point. Okay, so now I'm going to take my detail brush. All of our brushes are two-ended, which is fabulous. You get 2 for 1. They really are the best brushes I have ever used. I had a lot of nice quality brushes. Prior to this, I hesitated. So I did start 3D foundation with my own brushes, but it did not work as well until I finally broke down and purchased my first couple of brushes. Now, just contouring, this is Indigo, and you're just going to go right underneath your jawline, and that could also change a little bit depending on your face shape, especially if you have maybe some squareness that you want to soften a little bit more. And if you pull it down your neck a little bit, that helps to elongate your neck. And you can even go with that, or I'm going to dip a little bit into Bella Bronzer and just apply it to your collarbone, just to pull that and tie that all in together, especially as we get darker in the summer. My scarf is falling off. Okay, and I'm going to do some contouring in my forehead. And once again, depending on your face shape, what size forehead do you have, how much do you want to, you know, not draw attention towards Depends on how much you want to pull this contouring down. I have a very small forehead, so I don't want to go too far down. And basically we want to do kind of like an E. We've already done this portion. Find your cheekbone. You want to just hug that, go right underneath, swoop it up, go into your temple a little bit. And I am looking a little scary, but we're all going to blend this out. Okay, and now for my main color, I don't have this knotted. This is why my pretty new Sseko scarf is coming undone. My favorite brush, this is a blending brush. I'm going to apply my main color. Now for me, I'm kind of in between. I'm going to do this combination of Mango and Goddess. Mango is typically my go-to for most of the year, but I have gotten some sun. And I like this because it's just a really, really light touch. Really non-dense brush. So it gives you a little bit of that airbrush finish. And I just kind of tap that along. Okay. And then I'm going to just tap a little bit more now into this main, which is my bridge color. The bridge color is going to tie in my pop color and my Camo color. And I'm going to start tapping and blending now. Tapping and blending. I'm not dragging. I don't want to take the product off. Just tap and blend, tap and blend. Keep going in those areas where you haven't done your pop or cam, or actually at this point I'm kind of going over everything. All right, my nose, I want to very lightly, we don't want to take that off. Keep tapping and blending. It's going to go over that contouring. And remember, less is more. I will say this over and over and over. We can always reapply. Do a little bit more on top. Looks like I'm applying a ton of makeup with, well, hopefully it doesn't look that way. It just probably appears because I'm tapping and blending so much, but such little product. People have a really hard time believing when they start using it how little they need to get excellent coverage. Okay, now I'm feeling like I would like to maybe do a little more pop and go a little bit, not quite all the way underneath the eye. And you know, this can change from day to day depending on how we look, how we woke up, how rested are we having allergies? So our skin really does change, and it's nice to be able to customize day to day what the needs are. All right, so I'm gonna do a little bit of contouring on my nose. I just did that pop color, but I didn't do the contouring on the side. You want just a really, really thin line connected up to your brow. I'm able to control a little bit more with my finger and make it a little bit softer. Okay, and then go back, just kind of tap it out. All right, and then the last thing, it's almost the last thing, is lip and cheek and illuminator. I do like a denser brush just to get that color onto my cheeks. This is the buff brush. It's very, very dense. I'm going to take that small end and let's go into Saffron. See, I'm just going to tap that in there, just kind of above the apples of my cheeks. I do like color on my cheeks, like that kind of flush look. Put a little bit more, and I can always reapply. I'm gonna go back now to that buffing brush. And this is just keep tapping. This is a little bit of a tap and blend, right? I think I need to give up on my scarf, and that's only because I just have it loosely on there. All right, so let's do a little illuminator. I'm gonna do this Photoshop. Hopefully you can see that. It's really pretty. And some of the illuminators are a little, you know, more intense than others, depending on how much drama you want, occasion. All right, I think that's it, guys. I'm gonna do Lolly, my lips. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put a little saffron on there to tie my scarf in. And that is it. I'm going to take my Perfector Sponge, super important, super important. This gives you that second skin look and feel so that you don't have the texture of makeup on your face, the illusion of that texture sitting there. And you just want to bounce this and push up and in, go right over my eye makeup, as you can see. And there goes the scarf. All right, and I think that is it. I am going to finish off with that setting spray again. It's getting towards the end, and ooh, my nozzle just squirted a little too much. And that's it. And hopefully you can see where I did that pop, how the light just naturally goes to those areas, and it just draws attention towards my eyes. That's what we want. We want people to focus on our eyes. And that's it. If you have any questions, drop me a personal message, drop a comment. And thanks for being here at my VIP group, Ladymda Beauty. If you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to join me there. And have a wonderful day. Be the best you. You are beautiful. Bye.